Buying a home in today's market can be a real challenge for a lot of people, and I'm here to give you 5 tips that I came up with to help you maybe stand out from the crowd and make your offer even better. So, I'm Chris Dietz with Dietz Estates by eXp Realty, your local Wisconsin real estate agent right here in the greater Milwaukee area, and my contact information is in the description down below where you can call, text, email, or book an appointment right on my calendar. So let's get into these tips to help you get the home that you are looking for. Tip number 1. Get pre-approved for a mortgage. Now, I know that's a little scary for some folks, or you may not know how to go about doing that. If you're working with an agent, ask them to see if they have any connections. But the reason you want to do this is because number 1, you want to know your budget. You want to know how much home you can afford, and it helps you understand, what your payments would look like. And you've already done a lot of the pre-credit checking so that way you're ready to go. You're not going to have any hiccups in the financing department as long as you don't do anything silly like, go purchase a boat or something like that while you're on your contract. It shows the seriousness that you're serious about making an offer, you're serious about purchasing the home that you may be writing an offer for. It just really shows you that you're a qualified buyer, that you've gone through a lot of the steps to make sure that you're able to get to this point and show that seller that, hey, I can buy your home. And then it speeds up the process a little bit. Having that pre-qualification and then the pre-approval part all done, it helps expedite that process just a little bit more, because at that point you're just waiting for the property and underwriting to finalize everything. And that's why I say always get a pre-approval, not a pre-qualification. There's a difference. Pre-qualification just shows that based on some little checks here and there, whereas a pre-approval is going to show you, like, they've gone through your bank statements, they've gone through all of that to kind of get a better idea of what you can afford. So always go for the pre-approval when you can. And it never hurts to shop around. Take your time, you have the ability to do it. Tip number 2 is research the neighborhoods that you're looking to be in. That means check what amenities are available. I mean, if you're having an agent, they should already provide that to you, but you want to look for the nearby amenities like schools, parks, shopping, hospitals, public transportation, if that's a thing that you need. Make sure that it meets your needs so that you're not missing any of those needs in that particular home that you're looking to make an offer in a neighborhood. You want to make sure that it has you want to assess the safety of a neighborhood. That means you want to look at the crime rates, you want to talk to the local residents and get a feel for how the community is and a sense of the neighborhood safety, and what the community is like, so that when you get there that you have a good idea what the vibe is going to be. We don't want to be somewhere where you don't feel safe and welcome. And then you want to look at the possibility of future developments that are coming in the area. So you want to know if there's any planned or zoning changes that are coming around that could impact the neighborhood's future or its value based on what's getting put in, nearby. If they're going to put a Costco right across the street, that could affect your property value, right? Because it's going to be a lot busier. You're going to have to deal with the noise and all that stuff. So you kind of want to have an idea of what's going on in the areas that you're looking, so that we don't have to run into those kind of issues. Tip number 3, hire a knowledgeable real estate agent. And I'm talking somebody that you've heard of and that has the knowledge and skills to help you. You want that market expertise. A good agent understands the local market, and they also are going to help you find the best homes and be able to negotiate the favorable terms that you need to get the home. And then they have access to listings. A lot of times agents will have access to listings before they even go live. So it could be a pre-thing. So let's say sellers plan on selling in a week, but they're currently delayed. You won't see that on places like Realtor.com and Zillow, but an agent with access to the MLS will be able to see that and say, hey, this property is coming up. We should plan to go take a look at this. Or if you even want to, it does happen. I mean, I've had it happen with some of my listings where a person will see that it's coming up and they're like, I just want to put an offer right away. You have that option to do it, but remember, you'd be seeing it unseen until it's on the market. At least here in Wisconsin, that's a law that we have to follow. That also is important to know that they will give you guidance and support. That means an experienced agent can guide you through all the complex things that are going to go with the home buying process. That's from start to finish on close day. They're going to make sure that you're keeping all of your appointments, all of the deadlines are being met, and they're going to be in contact with the other agent to make sure that everything's being taken care of, especially when it gets to the point where you're doing inspections, appraisals, and things like that. You want to make sure that there's somebody with you that understands the deadlines and how this can affect you in that contract. Tip number 4 is getting a professional inspection done. And I'm talking whether you have it as a contingency or not, it's always good to have one, especially if it's a contingency because you're required to do your thing. So one, it identifies issues. A thorough inspection is going to go through and look at every nook and cranny of that home and find any potential issues that are within their reason. They're not going to go and look for some things, like they're not professional electricians, they're not professional foundation experts. They're just going to note any problems that they find. So when they do find a big issue, they will look for things like structural that could potentially be a problem, plumbing, electrical. They're going to check all of that and make sure that in that report, and they're going to label it, usually color-coded in some fashion, that says it's either maintenance, a defect, which is usually red, which is like this needs to be fixed before you buy the home kind of thing, and warning type things, or even potential issues. So they will literally go over with a fine-tooth comb and be like, I think this might be a problem, here's what I think you should do. And they give you suggestions on what they think what you should do, or if you should have it further evaluated by a professional contractor that may deal in that sort of thing. It's also a negotiation tool. You can use the inspection report, if you have it as a contingency, to negotiate having repairs done, especially if there's big defects. You're talking big problems, or even some minor problems, like even a little one outlet next to a sink that isn't GFCI protected. That'd be something that you'd want to have fixed because that's a safety problem, right? So you want to have, for the repairs, you want to be able to negotiate for the repairs and have, if you don't want to have them do the repairs, you can negotiate a price reduction to help offset those costs that you're going to incur when you take the home and either do the repairs yourself or hire somebody to do it. And last but not least, a professional inspection is going to give you peace of mind. Why? Well, knowing the condition of the home that you're about to purchase, it kind of comes with being able to know that, well, if I know this is wrong, it's not going to surprise me later, right? You want to be able, that way you have that all set up, you know what you have to fix, and you can have that peace of mind knowing that either it's safe or you know what the problems that need to be addressed before you can move into the house and start living there. So I always recommend get an inspection regardless of using the contingency or not. It is your right as a home buyer. Don't not do it. And then we have tip number 5, and that's be ready to move quickly. Now, what does that mean? That means staying prepared. You want to keep all of your financial documents, all your pre-approval letters. If you're having them tailored to each individual property, make sure you're getting a hold of your lender as soon as you're ready to make an offer so that you have a new pre-approval letter. And anything other that's necessarily needed for paperwork involved in submitting an offer or any of that process that goes along with that. And it's important to stay prepared and keep those so that they're handy. You can give them to your agent and you can go. And then you want to act decisively. What does that mean? That's if you're in a competitive market, especially in this time of the year where things are just flying all over the place and we don't think we have more than a few seconds to breathe and make an offer. That's what I want to mean by act decisively. You want to be able to make sure that your ability to make a quick, informed decision, and you can help you secure that home faster if you're able to make those quick decisions on the fly, saying, hey, I want to make this offer, let's do it, and then work with your agent to figure out the terms as quickly and as effectively without, leaving yourselves open to vulnerabilities. And then there's always the flexible scheduling. Yes, be flexible with your schedule and to accommodate viewings, any inspections, if you want to be there, and meeting with your agent, because your agent needs to be as informed as possible about anything that changed in your situation, ensuring you don't miss any out on opportunities because there was a miscommunication. So always be in contact with your agent. Over communication is always better than lack of communication. It's just how the nature of the game goes. The more we communicate, the better and more effective we are at getting you that offer accepted in a new home that you're looking for. And those are the 5 tips that I came up with to help buyers on their next step of their journey, or if they're just looking to start their journey, they have at least some more extra knowledge going forward so that they don't make any of the mistakes, or they at least have themselves more prepared and ready to go when they find a home that they really like. By following these tips, buyers can navigate the home buying journey a little bit more effectively and increase their chances of getting the home that they desire. Let's face it, it's tough out there. I know it's not easy for everybody, but we want to make sure that we do as best we can to make sure that we get you what you want and that the terms that work best for you. So I hope you found that information helpful. My information, again, is always in the description down below, where you can call, text, email, or book an appointment right on my calendar. And I hope I see you in the next video. Take care.